But at the same time, what this doesn't do is block those individual appeals. So that was Robert Jenrick's whole problem, wasn't it? He resigned last week because he said, what's the point in this if we still have this legal merry-go-round continuing ad infinitum? And unfortunately, I'm hearing that you're saying the legislation is robust, but you can't rule out these individual appeals either.
It may well be the case that any individual says that they should not be deported, but first of all, they have to produce evidence, and then it will be the decision for a minister, not for the courts, to decide whether or not that evidence is appropriate. And so it is very, very clear that this legislation will empower ministers to ensure that people can be deported. And it sends a very clear message to the courts, if passed, that Parliament wants to see some of the process that we've had and almost all of the objections that we've had swept away.
Back in 2015, you were the one who led the charge as Justice Secretary to scrap the Human Rights Act and replace it with the Bill of Rights. I mean, you've not ruled out leaving the ECHR. What's your position on all that now? Because arguably, had you scrapped the HRA and replaced it with a Bill of Rights, you might not be in this mess.
Well, it was the case at the time that I and my colleague Dominic Raab were seeking to update and modernise our human rights architecture and to make our human rights architecture more robust. It was, as a result of that, our intention to stay within the European Convention on Human Rights, but the Prime Minister has made clear that we will do whatever it takes in order to ensure that we can get people who need to be deported from our shores deported. This legislation does what it takes, and it keeps us within the boundaries of international law as well.